the star for your Detroit Pistons. At the shooting guard position, 6 feet 4 inches, number 23, Jaden Ivey. In the middle, standing 6'8", number 28, Isaiah Stewart. At 4'6'8", number 41, Saki Bell. Starting at the power forward at 6 feet 7 inches, number 44, Bojan Bogdanovic. At the other guard position at 6 feet 7 inches, number 2, Cade Cunningham.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us for NBA action on 2K Sports. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan, and joining us tonight, Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke. And reporting from the sidelines, our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Thank you very much. Saddiq Bey was the 19th pick in 2020, and he's earned big minutes for the Pistons. He said, "My whole career, I've never been highly touted, but I found the confidence within myself to perform at a high level. I don't really listen to what other people say. I just focus on how much better I can get each and every day." Kevin, I do the same thing. Back to you.
And David, I can tell, and it's working. DA, thanks. Here are the 5 for the Raptors. Anunoby in at the forward with Barnes next to him. Van Vliet in the backcourt. Trent Jr. to his side. And for the Pistons, the backcourt guards are Cunningham and Ivey. Bogdanovic out there with Bey. And it's Stewart in at the 5. And the Raptors doors with one of the elite front offices recognized in the NBA.
And Kevin, because of that, a highly paid one as well. Remember, a recruitment battle, not just with the NBA, but English soccer, to keep their leadership intact. The track record is there to justify that top billing, no doubt about it.
Now Trent, following the three-point attempt by Cade Cunningham. Now here's Trent. Defense right on him. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And there's the foul against Detroit.
And the son of an NBA vet, Gary Trent Jr.'s game is very different than his dad's.
Well, obviously, Gary Sr. had more size and therefore was a post player in a different generation. The younger Mr. Trent, an excellent shooter from deep. Pretty much the opposite style of play.
A free throw drops for Trent. It's still early in the season, and teams are still trying to figure out rotations. Greg, what's it like to play in a game like that tonight?
Well, for a lot of these guys, Kevin, it's all about jockeying for position, making an argument for minutes. You want to earn the trust of your coaches.
Both shots good from the stripe.
And when you look at the complete game of the Detroit Pistons, there are struggles on both ends of the floor, which I'm sure can feel discouraging at times.
Now, here's Stewart. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. Ivey kicks to Bey. Stewart, a screen for Bey. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Looking at the Pistons' recent performance, Greg, which end would you want to see improve first?
Kevin, I'd have to say defense. More stops means more chances in the open floor, and it would help them keep games competitive.
And he makes the first. And Greg, beyond the lottery picks, this Pistons team has a lot of young players looking to make a name for themselves.
Second-round picks are guys let go by their first team. There's an underdog quality to the roster, guys hungry to prove they belong.
Bay hits them both. Greg, when you look at Toronto, they have a lot of length and defensive switchability.
They swarm opposing stars and tend to make it very difficult in those passing lanes. So a great profile for a modern NBA defense.
Van Vliet with the bucket.
Now you see the wherewithal of Fred Van Vliet. Finds the soft spot in the defense and converts.
Ivy passes to Cunningham. Knocks down the three ball.
When he's hitting that shot, this offense becomes scary, even more difficult to defend.
And what happens is the court just opens up. You like seeing him get into a rhythm from outside the arc. Love it.
And so the ball is out of bounds. Bogdanovich touched it last. And there's the pass to Trent for the three. That one, no good. Now the Pistons take it the other way. A tough loss coming against New York in their last game played.
I tell you, they were drawing a lot of iron from the perimeter. Couldn't get the threes to go down, and really the story of the game.
What was most disturbing to me was they didn't have a backup plan, right? The threes aren't falling. What do you do next?
Now, here's Trent. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Thunder in Oklahoma City. Barnes outside. Back to Trent. And there's the drive. Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
Yeah, we know this about Scotty Barnes. He has a team-first mindset. Finds the open player in that instance.
Cunningham outside. Now, here's Stewart. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Knicks in New York.
And you know, guys, the other thing I really appreciated about his effort in that game was the effort and work on the glass. What a well-rounded performance.
And he's a physical 6'8" center for the Pistons, and it's easy, Greg, to see why Isaiah Stewart has drawn comparisons to another great Piston, Ben Wallace.
Always a good thing being compared to a Hall of Famer. And Stewart, not just brawn, he's brains too. Watches film, takes notes. He wants to be great.
Take a break. Two shots.
And the first one at the line is good. And Scotty Barnes, the Rookie of the Year in 2022 in the NBA.
And you could argue he was maybe the biggest surprise of the 21 draft. Made a huge impact on the floor immediately. If you did a redraft of that class, he'd be closer to the top.
So Detroit ends up going with the new group. Barnes hits them both.
Boy, guys, when you think about the prototypical modern wing, Scotty Barnes, the reigning Rookie of the Year, certainly fits that mold, already proving to be a well-rounded two-way player.
Now here's Diallo. He's coming off a 13-point game against New York.
And one of the big ways he came through was at the foul line. They couldn't contain him. He was equally effective at scoring baskets as well as getting to the line.
Toronto with the ball after the basket by Detroit. 51 seconds left to play in the first. And again, no good by Toronto.
Well, he's a quality mid-range shooter, but he can't get that one to go.
Diallo with it, picked up by Van Vliet. And Fred Van Vliet is going to pick up a foul. That's his first foul. And Toronto making a change here. Birch is checked in.
Kim Birch.
Over to the wing. Here's Knox, guarded by Porter. Those three-pointers off the mark. Toronto's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Van Vliet outside. And a miss there on the triple. Detroit's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. He's with it. 11 points last game. From deep three-point range at the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Pistons lead by 1. Live from Little Caesars Arena, you're watching 2K Sports. This has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And what stands out to you from the Pistons so far in this one?
Guys, I love their defense in that first period. They were in position and just challenging shots.
Well, I think they combined great intelligence with great effort, and you can see the results.
Well, if there's one thing, Frank, that defines a modern NBA big man, it is mobility.
And they've got to be able to move their feet and really play in space. Otherwise, they just can't stay on the floor in today's game.
Running the wings, they'll go with Ivy and Bay. Isaiah Stewart out there with Bogdanovich. And it's Cunningham in at the 1 spot. That's the group for Detroit right now. And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Thanks, guys. A busy few years for Nick Nurse. In 2019, he helped lead the Raptors to the title, and he was the 2020 Coach of the Year. He says, it means a lot to me that this city and this country loves this team so much, we can go out there and give them something to be proud of. Of course, Kevin, he's been a key part of that success. Back to you.
Maybe the single most important part of their success, D.A. Thank you so much. Pistons leading by 4.
Well, you look at the counting numbers for Cade Cunningham. He fills up a stat sheet. The key for him moving forward, though, efficiency.
Cunningham's shot is off. And so Anunoby will bring it up for Toronto. Passes to Banton. Down low, here's Trent, and it takes that one up and powers it through.
Oh, my goodness. Gary Trent Jr. saying, "Pops, I got a little hops in my game, too."
And you talk about Cade's efficiency. Break on a struggling team, that can be a challenge.
Yeah, without great shooters around him, he's forced into taking tough shots or turnovers. And as the team improves, though, I think the percentages should come around.
And that was the Mobile One drive. Well worth a second look.
It's all about the ability to get 2 feet in the paint, whether it's creating for a teammate or for yourself.
Got a piece of it. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 2 minutes.
Now Cunningham. And you know the points will always be there for him. He's averaging just a shade under 20 points a game right now. Down to 5 on the shot clock. There's Bay. And it's off the back rim. No good. Raptors trail by 4. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Pass to Anunoby. Inside. Birch kicks to Trent. Achua the pass to Anunoby. And here's Trent outside.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Bogdanovich looking around. Pass to Bay. Stewart with the screen on Anunoby. Here's Bay. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And catch and release, not just about fishing. Saddiq Bey last season with the 4th most catch and shoot triples made in the NBA.
The Pistons shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And as a unit, they're shooting 78% from the line. That's a solid number to work with on the season.
He misses the free throw. Well, you were talking about how Bay is always in motion. He's always working so well off the ball, isn't he?
He is, Kevin. One of the league leaders in ground covered over the course of the season. And with all his minutes played, you know he's in tip-top shape.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Duran, he's checked in for Stewart. Kevin Knox comes in for Bogdanovich. Joseph, he's checked in for Ivy. And Hayes subbed in for Cunningham. Raptors trail by 5. Barnes outside. The feed now to Young. And Young slams it home.
Oh, my goodness, a sensational athlete. Go ahead, Thaddeus Young.
Joseph looking around. Here's Knox, covered by Barnes. Hayes the pass to Duran. Here's Banton. He's covered by Joseph. From 17 feet out. And good. Got the English that time as it falls. And it's now only a 1-point Detroit lead.
And this will be the last possession of the quarter if they're patient.
Well, it's amazing. If you finish quarters the right way, it can have such a great impact on the outcome of a game.
And here's Bay. Sinks the three-pointer. Bay's got a pair of triples in the second now for the Pistons. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. The Pistons on top. They lead by 4. A chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much. Here with Nick Nurse. Coach, the efficiency wasn't there in the first half. What adjustments do you need to make?
I thought we got pretty good shots, you know, and if we're not going to score, it makes getting our defense set up difficult. So you got to keep shooting them. Hopefully start making some of them.
You can't score until you shoot, Coach. Thanks. Back to you.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half, moment 2.
Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. The Detroit Pistons finding themselves in a closely contested game.
Man, this is just beautiful basketball, poetry in motion. I mean, I think if they stay efficient, Ernie, in the second half, they'll pull away.
And now you have me wondering about poetry. Do you think Walt Whitman had a jump shot?
Maya Angelou did.
And now, let's take a glance ahead at the games on the docket. Here's the upcoming schedule.
They're going to be out on the road for a bit. You want to win early because those trips feel twice as long when you're getting beat.
You're not wrong about that one, Shaq. I mean, it hurts when you're on a losing tour.
And that'll do it for halftime. We send you back to Kevin Harlan, who has the second half call.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. You look at Saddiq Bey, what a contribution.
And you know he's going to put up points every time out, but boy, he made it look so easy in that first half.
And let's see if he continues that trend the rest of the way. He certainly has the talent and the endurance to do just that.
So for Toronto right now, Van Vliet in the backcourt. Trent Jr. to his side. Anunoby in at the forward with Barnes next to him. Cunningham gets the bucket. Cunningham's got the first basket of the third quarter for the Pistons.
Just showing some grown man strength there. Cunningham gifted at working through the contact.
Oh, what an impressive dribble drive. That replay brought to you by Mobile One.
And trying to extend this lead, no better way than playing north and south, getting after it.
Now, here's Trent. He's got 6 and good that time.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
The Raptors are only a few years removed from its championship in 2019. Boy, a lot has changed since then.
Here is Cunningham. He's got 5. Shoots over Van Vliet. Cunningham's shot is off. And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. Anunoby finds Trent. Van Vliet with it. Trent outside. Offline with his 3. A lot of change. Toronto is without some of the key pieces from that title team, and it wasn't that long ago. But, Greg, they haven't had to go through a full rebuild. There are some remaining parts.
Listen, the talent they have is still undeniable, and they've got a good mix of young up-and-comers and players in the prime of their career.
Now here's Barnes, following the miss by Cade Cunningham. Barnes into the lane. It counts, and the foul. It's going to be on Cade Cunningham.
You love how Scotty Barnes embraces the challenge of a contested shot. Don't back down, Scotty.
Raptors have hit all 4 of their chances so far in this one. So for the Pistons, Rivers is checked in, and Diallo is subbed in for Cunningham. Chris Boucher's checked in for Toronto. The free throw off from Barnes.
How about Scotty Barnes, guys? The 4th pick in his draft class, a guy who proved from the outset he was going to be reliable, efficient, versatile, and a two-way player. Pretty impressive stuff.
Now, here's Stewart. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Ivy passes, delivers. Shoots over Anunoby. Anunoby sends it back.
OG Anunoby is fast off his feet, 7'2" wingspan, says twice on the pipes.
Here's Van Vliet. His numbers are looking pretty good. He's got his scoring average up around 18.5 points a game.
And the rebound battle split evenly thus far.
Bogdanovich dishes to Ivy. Trent against Diallo. There's a minute left in the third quarter of the game. Detroit, no good that time either. Anunoby kicks to Barnes. Stewart with the steal. Tries the spin move. There's the pass to Diallo. Stewart, a screen for Diallo.
Raptors foul. Chris Boucher. First personal
For
foul.
Detroit, they have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight.
At the line for Detroit, Amadou Diallo. 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
That free throw, no good. Some changes for Toronto. Achua, he's checked in for Scotty Barnes. And Porter subbed in for Anunoby. He hits the second from the line. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. Outside, Porter. Van Vliet on the wing, covered by Hayes. And Van Vliet, here we go. Boucher's shot is off. Pistons leading by 3. Diallo the pass to Knox. Now here's Hayes, covered by Van Vliet. Hayes down low. He knocks it down, but wait a minute. The officials are getting together. They may want to review this one. And not so fast.
The previous play is under review.
Make sure they got it right before we go to the 4th.
And they're making sure on this one, even though it may not matter in the grand scheme, but the replay process is faster than ever. You know, why not?
After the review, the ruling on the floor is overturned.
They're going to switch the call. There is no doubt, looking at the replay, that he got it off in time.
Well, it's good they decided to take another look at it. I know some folks don't like how replay slows the game down and interrupts the flow, but when you have it there, you got to use it.
The third quarter comes to a close. Pistons lead by 5. And we'll be back right after this. Now let's take a listen on head coach Dwayne Casey.
We got to get back and play with its insertion. Pass goes, we got to move with the pass. It doesn't matter, we got to scramble.
Well, stressing defense that last time out, Greg, a wise approach.
Yeah, I mean, when it's this tight, defense can push you over the top.
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. We've got Durham. Cade Cunningham out there with Corey Joseph. Then it's Sadiq Bey. And it's Knox in at the 4 slot. That's the group for Detroit right now. Shots good by Duran.
That's just good fundamentals from Cunningham. When a guy is that open, you got to get it to him.
And here's Trent outside. Bey pulls it in.
I'll tell you, this has not been his game, and he's making it worse with shot selection like that.
Bounce past Joseph. Bey finds Cunningham. The 3 from Joseph. Rebound by the Raptors. That is game 3 of this 4-game trip. Trent with it. Now defended by Cunningham. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. Cunningham with some nice D. Detroit leading by 7. Passes it to Bey. Now here's Durham. Defense is right there. That one goes. Count it.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Van Vliet passes to Trent. Cunningham against Van Vliet. Lets the 3 fly. And again, Toronto no up.
Simply put, a bad shot, guys. They all know they can get a better look than that.
Here's Cunningham. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And Van Vliet picks one up. For a while, the East was all LeBron. And the West? Well, Doris, as we know, the West was dominated by Golden State. But now, does the league, do you feel more wide open?
Well, certainly, when you look at last season, I thought there were 4 teams in the East that absolutely had a shot to make the finals. Contingent on health. Obviously, Milwaukee, without Chris Middleton, struggled to get over the finish line. In the West, you had 3 teams who I thought legitimately could advance. So certainly the gap between playoff teams feels smaller.
And it's easy to see why so many are so high on Cunningham, a talented guard who can do a little bit of everything.
Bogdanovich, he's checked in for Detroit. Ivy comes in for Joseph. And so Cunningham nails both of them. And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Toronto Raptors. Nothing doing offensively yet for them in the 4th. Goes up from the top of the key. That one wide left. Detroit leading by 11.
2 minutes remaining.
Cunningham looking it over.
2 minutes.
There's 1:54 left in the 4th quarter. The Raptors have gotten off to a rough start in the fourth quarter, going 0 for 4 so far. Here's Van Vliet. Trying to get something going. Detroit with the rebound. Bay's got 5 rebounds tonight. Now, here's Ivy. Defended by Trent. Cunningham for 3. Toronto grabs the miss.
Well, you can see why the defense dared him to shoot it. That's not really his spot.
Anunoby passes to Van Vliet. Jacks up a 3. And Cunningham with the block.
And we'll just watch the clock wind down, guys, in what will turn out to be a win here for the Pistons.
Well, I think the attitude was very impressive. Definitely a competitive game, and they fought through it each step of the way.
Absolutely. They put on a tremendous performance in terms of the effort and intensity. This was a well-deserved win.
And during the long NBA season, each contest important here tonight. Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season. And while there was some nice performances tonight, it definitely ended up being a solid outing for Cade Cunningham.
Boy, forget about his stats for a second, right? What impressed me most was his stamina. It seemed like he was involved in every play. And with that kind of activity, I don't know how you don't wear down.
Here's Van Vliet after the basket by Detroit. Now here's Bay. At the elbow, it's Cunningham. A 3 ball. The shot by Ivy, no good. Anunoby with it. It's Trent on the wing. Over Ivy. And the Raptors miss again. And so Detroit takes this one by a big margin. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, made the difference.
Yeah, and the first step in becoming a good team is your ability to win at home. And they really seem to revel in that opportunity. And this is what they came out to do.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. As we leave you with our New Balance Player of the Game, Cade Cunningham.